A philosophy professor stood before his class with a few items in front of him on a table. And without saying a single word, he picked up a very large empty jar and proceeded to fill that jar up with rocks. He then asked the students if the jar was full, and they all replied, yeah, it was full. So the professor then picked up a box of pebbles and poured them into the jar. He shook the jar very lightly, and the pebbles, of course, just rolled into the open areas between all the rocks. And he then asked the students again if the jar was full, and they all agreed again that it was. Then the professor picked up a box of sand and poured that into the jar. And of course, the sand just filled the remaining open areas of the jar. He then asked once more if the jar was full, and they all replied with a yes. Now, said the professor, I want you all to recognize that this jar represents your life. The rocks are the important things, like your family, your partner, your health, your kids. Things that if everything else was lost and only they remained, your life would still be full. The pebbles are the other things that matter, like your job, your house, your car. The sand is everything else, the small stuff in life. If you put the sand into the jar first, he continued, there's no room for the pebbles or the rocks. And the same goes for your life. If you spend all your time and energy on the small things, you will never have room for the things that are important to you and the things that really matter. Pay attention to the things that are critical for your happiness. Play with your children. Take your partner out dancing. There will always be time to go to work, to fix something in the house, to clean the house. And then he said something to his students that they will never forget. He said, take care of your rocks first. The things that really matter. Set your priorities. The rest is just sand.